Hey guys, it's Rich, and in this video I'm going to tell you the 8 things that PUA say that you should not listen to, the advice that might get you in big trouble. So let's get right into the list. First things that you probably heard is DHV stories, which are things, stories where you embed in a bunch of, cool information about yourself that might even not be true. So, last year I was driving in my Ferrari with my model girlfriend and, we got into a car accident and blah, blah, blah. This kind of thing. So you're telling some stupid story and you're putting in all of these things to show off. And this is the first thing you shouldn't do. I believe that it's a demonstration of lower value, not higher, when you meet a girl and in the first minutes you try and tell her a lot of cool things about yourself. It's much better actually if she's left to guess and you have this quiet confidence, and then later she finds out things gradually. There's things that I don't reveal about myself, but a girl will naturally find out, after she's talked to me for maybe 10 hours in total. So it might be the 3rd or the 4th date. We just get onto that subject and then she directly asks me and she'll find out. I'm not even going to say it in this video because, I wouldn't give these show-off points even on a YouTube video. So in general, it's much better to, have the stuff that you're cool about, and even have, the conversation can kind of move to those areas naturally. You can ask her questions in that area and it naturally gets there. But if you build it into a story, it is very bad. Which brings me to the second thing that is bad, which is storytelling in general. When you first meet a girl, she doesn't want to listen to stories about yourself. So, she meets you, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened to me last month, and you've got some long story like this. I've met maybe 2 people in my whole life that are fantastic storytellers. I'm not so great, and most people are not so great, so it's better not to try to be an amazing storyteller. If you can talk about her and her interests more than you, what you'll find is that after 45 minutes of conversation, she'll realize that you know that much about her and she knows very little about you, but she likes you, and that will make her curious and she'll start asking you questions, and then you can give information, but it doesn't need to be in the form of a story. Third thing that you shouldn't do is peacocking. If you see some of my videos or my pictures on Facebook, you might see that sometimes I wear interesting clothes, so a shirt that you wouldn't wear to the office because it's got, strange collars and strange buttons and different things about it. That's fine, but the old school peacocking thing is definitely not something to work into your life, unless you're a magician, a performer, or whatever else. It will get you more attention. So women might talk to you because you're wearing something stupid, but it doesn't build attraction. It probably doesn't go with who you are, so it's something that you should delete from your repertoire if you've even considered it. The next thing, and this is very important, might save your life, is amogging. I've seen advice where, a guy comes in and, you're talking to a girl that might be his girl or a girl he's interested in. You're like, hey, nice shirt, bro, or something like that, and you're dissing him. Very, very bad. Lots of guys watching this would say that if they were in that situation, they could turn aggressive if someone dissed them like that, especially if it was a nerd, they'd get angry. So much better is to control the situation. So if I'm talking to a girl and a guy comes in, I immediately engage him. I say, hey man, how you doing? What's your name? I'm Richard. Introduce myself. Ask how he knows the girl. Then you find out the relationship between them. If he says that's my girl, I would ask her, like, is that right? It's your boyfriend? And if she says no, I can continue. But in most cases, by being friendly and preemptive, it's way better than trying to amog the guy and put him in a weaker position. Next thing that doesn't work is negs, and this is one of the classics, that you approach a girl and you say, oh, you're the most beautiful girl I've seen in the past minute, or something like that. It's awful. It's one of the worst things you can do. Much better is to achieve the same result by not having a compliment at all in the early stages, giving genuine ones later, but only if you meet a girl that is very bitchy and difficult. Then you can tease her, you can play with her, but it's not done in the form of a neg. It's done in that playful, teasing, cocky, arrogant way, and making fun of her. But only a girl with a big ego. Even if a girl is very beautiful, if she's very sweet and soft, negging her will absolutely destroy it. And I can think of back in the day when I used that stuff, and it was very hit and miss, and usually miss. But when I'm cheeky with girls that are confident, they love it, and it works every single time. So don't use negs, you never need to. Next thing that you shouldn't always follow is the 3-second rule. This is the idea that you see a girl and you need to approach. It's not right, because there are certain situations when it is better to wait. If you're coming to a place and you know lots of people and you're with your friends and it's early in the night and you want to have some fun first, it's actually okay to just make some connection from a distance and let her see you, let her take you in, get comfortable with you, see you interact with friends, and pick that moment, not when she's on the way to the toilet or something like that, but when there's a lull in her conversation. Before other guys come in, of course, but it's not always 3 seconds. Sometimes you want to be very fast approaching, and sometimes you want to be a little more strategic, demonstrate some things in her field of vision and then come to her later. So this is one that is not always bad to do, but sometimes it's not good to follow the 3-second rule. Another one that I've seen guys do that is just stupid is not buying girls drinks. So they've been talking to a girl for 10 minutes, their drink is finished, she hasn't got one or she's finished hers, and they're like, okay, I'm going to go get myself a drink, or they just stand there and they don't get any more. If you're a businessman and you're talking to a girl that is a student, don't be scared of spending money on her. It's fine to buy her a drink, it's fine to buy her dinner, it's fine to invite her somewhere, especially if it's you inviting her. You need to pay, and there's nothing wrong with that. This whole thing comes from the opener, you're pretty, can I buy you a drink? That's completely wrong. But once you know that she isn't just talking to you to get the drink, that you're having a nice conversation, it's the gentlemanly thing to do, and there is nothing wrong with it. If she's a high-powered businesswoman, then fine, she can get you the next one. But in most cases, be the man, be the leader. It's fine to buy her a drink. Finally, about not drinking yourself, I remember I used to drink tap water every time when I went out, and that was okay because I was going out a lot and it would have cost a lot of money to buy alcohol. But don't think that you can't have a drink. If you're in, a cool cocktail bar and you're standing there with water, it actually looks a little bit strange. She's going to ask you why. If you've got good reasons and stuff, maybe it's okay. But generally, girls don't trust guys that aren't drinking. They think it's a little bit strange. So have 1 or 2 cocktails, drink it slowly. When you're meeting people, try and get it out of your hand so that you can gesture, so that you can touch and things like that. But don't be scared to have a drink. It's not all bad. And especially if you go on a date, the girl might not drink if you don't, and things will be much easier if you both have a few glasses of wine. So don't follow that advice. There you have it, guys. Those are the 8 things. I think I got them all. I'm just going to check. Yeah, I got all of them. Those are the 8 things that you should not listen to when it comes to PUA advice. Hope you liked the video, guys, and I'll be back with more soon.